In my 4th year as a monk in Thailand, I was practicing long and hard in a remote forest monastery in the northeast. Late one night, during an extended spell of walking meditation, my mind grew exceptionally clear. Deep insights came cascading like a mountain waterfall. I was easily understanding profound mysteries that I had never fathomed before. Then the big one came. It blew me away. This was it. Enlightenment. The bliss was like nothing I had known before. There was so much joy, yet at the same time it was also peaceful. I meditated till very late, slept very little, and rose in time to begin more meditation in the monastery hall, well before the 3 a.m. bell. Usually at 3 a.m. in the hot and humid Thai forests, I would struggle with dullness and sleepiness. But not this morning. My body was effortlessly upright, mindfulness was as sharp as a scalpel, and concentration focused easily. It was wonderful being enlightened. It was also so disappointing that it didn't last all that long. In those days in northeast Thailand, the food was disgusting. For instance, once our single meal of the day consisted of just a ball of sticky rice with a medium-sized boiled frog on the top. There were no vegetables, no fruit, just frog and rice, and that was all for the day. I started by picking at the meat on the legs, and after at the frog's innards. A monk sitting close to me also started picking at the organs of the frog. Unfortunately, he pressed the frog's bladder. There was still urine inside, so the frog peed all over his rice. He stopped eating after that. Usually our main dish every day was rotten fish curry, and it was made of rotten fish. The small fish caught during the rainy season would be stored in earthen jars and used throughout the year. I found such a jar once while cleaning around our monastery kitchen. It was full of crawling maggots, so I went to throw it away. The headman of the village, the most educated and refined of them all, saw me and told me not to throw it away. "But it's got maggots in it," I protested. "Even more delicious," he replied, and took the jar from me. The next day we had rotten fish curry for our one meal of the day. The day after my enlightenment, I was surprised to see 2 saucepans of curry to flavour our sticky rice. One was the usual stinking rotten fish curry, the other an edible pork curry. Today, I thought, I will have a good meal for a change, to celebrate my attainment. The abbot chose his food ahead of me. He took 3 huge ladlefuls of the delicious pork curry, the glutton. There was still plenty left for me. However, before passing the pot over to me, he began to pour my mouth-watering pork curry into the pot of rotten fish curry. Then he stirred it all together, saying, "It's all the same anyway." I was speechless. I was fuming. I was incensed. If he really thought it all the same anyway, then why did he take 3 whopping portions of pork curry for himself first, before mixing it together? The hypocrite! Moreover, he was a local boy who grew up with stinking rotten fish curry and so should like it. The fake, the pig, the cheat. Then a realization hit me. Enlightened ones do not have preferences over food, nor do they get angry and call their abbots, albeit under their breath, pigs. I sure was angry, and that meant, oh, no, that I wasn't enlightened after all. The fire of my anger was immediately dampened by sodden depression. Thick, dark clouds of dismay rolled in on my heart and completely obscured the sun that once was my enlightenment. Downcast and in gloom, I slopped 2 ladles of smelly rotten fish and pork curry onto my rice. I didn't care what I ate now. I was so dispirited. Finding out that I wasn't enlightened after all spoiled my whole day. The road hog. On the subject of pigs, a wealthy specialist doctor had just purchased a very expensive and powerful new sports car. Of course, you don't spend so much money on a high-powered vehicle just to drive it in the slow city traffic. So one sunny day he drove out of the city into the serene farming country. On reaching the speed camera-free zone, he pressed hard on the accelerator and felt his sports car surge. With the engine roaring loudly and the sleek vehicle screaming along the country road, the doctor smiled with the exhilaration of high speed. Not so exhilarated was a weather-worn farmer leaning on a paddock gate. Yelling at the top of his voice in order to be heard above the noise of the sports car, the farmer shouted, "Pig!" The doctor knew that he was acting wilfully, completely insensitive to the tranquillity of his surroundings, but he thought, "What the hell, I have a right to enjoy myself." So he turned and yelled at the farmer, "Who are you calling a pig?" In those few seconds that he took his eyes off the road, his car ran into a pig in the middle of the road. His brand-new sports car was a total wreck. And as for the pig, he spent many weeks in a hospital bed and lost a great deal of money, as well as his car. Hare Krishna. In the previous story, the doctor's ego had caused him to badly misjudge the warning of a kind-hearted farmer. In the following story, my monk's ego caused me to badly misjudge another kind-hearted person, much to my distress. I was finishing a visit to my mother in London. She was walking alongside me to Ealing Broadway railway station to help with my ticket. On the way to the station, in busy Ealing High Street, I heard someone jeering, "Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna!" Being a bald-headed Buddhist monk wearing brown robes, I often get confused with the devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement. Many times in Australia, louts would